Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CraftStash Live. We've had some gremlins already this afternoon, so hopefully all's going to go smoothly now. It's just after 2 p.m. and we have got a fantastic launch for you. We are looking at the brand new Paper Discovery Japanese Dream. Have you seen any sneak peeks of it? It's absolutely stunning. As always, of course, we have got lots and lots of giveaways for you today. We are actually giving away 3 of what I'd consider the main die set of this collection. All you need to do is be commenting wherever you're watching, whether that's on Facebook or whether that is on YouTube. Just drop us a comment. Hello, how are you? How much do you love the new collection? You don't need to say anything specific. Now, we've also got a deal where if once I've shown you the whole collection, if you see some things you like and you think, actually, I can easily go and spend £30 or more, you're going to get a free stamp set. So that's over on craftstash.co.uk, popping 3 of these into your basket, sorry, £30 worth of these into your basket, you're going to get the option of that free stamp set, which I'll show you in a moment. And of course, the stamp set is going to automatically be added, as in when you get to checkout, you get a little pop-up box come along and that will say, would you like to add this free of charge? So it's really easy for you, no codes there. But if you do love a secret code, and we've been doing this the whole of our birthday week, hence the balloons, the big 6 balloons, we're 6 this week, you are going to get a secret code for this show as well. Now, if you pop along to craftworld.com, you're going to find the code there. On the home page, you will see a banner that will take you along to a post all about this show. So in there, you'll find the secret code that is going to get you a whopping 40% off of some of the selected Paper Discovery items. Now, that's not the new collection, of course. They are older collections, but they are stunning, some of them. I absolutely love all of Olga's designs. Let's say a very quick hello to everybody. Thank you all for waiting. Thank you for your patience, everyone, while we were just sorting out all the computer things. I love technology sometimes when it works. Hello to Rena. Hello to Teresa. Hi to Benita. Hi to Geraldine. To Judith as well. Let me scroll down the bottom to get some of you as well. Yes, Teresa, we are looking at Oriental, so lots of Japanese themed dies, stamps, papers, and embossing folders. Do you know what? The embossing folders are amazing. And lucky me, I get to demonstrate all of these. So I'm going to do tips and techniques with all of them today. Hello to Anita, to Jude, to Tanya, to Lynn. There's lots of you as well. And the lovely Natalie from Craft World is, of course, watching. Hi, Lou. I didn't mean hi, Lou. I meant hi, Natalie. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Okay, shall we have a look, first of all, at these products? Do you want to see how beautiful these are? Now, you've got a little sneak peek of the papers here as well. Hopefully you can all hear me okay today. Microphones are all working and everything. Fingers crossed we don't need any more problems. So this is the collection, Japanese Dream, of course, designed by Olga Directorenko. This is beautiful. I think, and I said this to my boss the other day, I think this is my favourite of all of Olga's collections so far. I really do love it. And I didn't think I was that much into Oriental designs, but do you know what? These are so beautiful. So we have the Japanese garden die set. Now, don't be fooled. This is a not to scale at all, a much tinier version of what you're actually getting. Let me just take the outer frame for you. We're looking at A5 cards with this. Okay, let's bet that doesn't go back in. Oh, it does. Let me show you what you can be making with this. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? You can be building up your scenes. We've got the landscapes and the mountain ranges. We've got the beautiful buildings. We've got the trees. We've got the bridges as well. Lots and lots in here. We even have that sun, and that can be the setting sun or the rising sun in the dawn, whichever you want it to be. Lots of foliage in there as well. And have a look at this example too. They're just beautiful, aren't they? Absolutely stunning. So that's the first die set. That's what I consider to be the main die set. And this is going to be your giveaway as well. I'm going to be giving 3 of these away at the end of the hour. All you need to do is be commenting. We've got lovely Hillary watching, so she'll be commenting for you. She's helped me out a lot this week. She will hopefully, I don't know if I've asked her, she'll hopefully be picking 3 of your names at random for me and sending them through by the end of the hour so I can announce them, and we'll get these out to you by the end of the week as well. So good luck with that, everybody. Get commenting. So the next part Now these two sections comes hand in hand, so that's why I'm showing you them together. So we have got the die sets, and you can see they're beautiful dies, but again, much larger when they're out of the packet. Let's take, there we go, look. That is the outline for the lady. And if we look at the stamp set as well, of course, you are cutting out your stamps with this set. So they do come hand in hand. It's well worth, if you're getting one, get the other as well. But the stamps are absolutely beautiful. I adore the cherry blossom there. We've got the birds as well. Is that a heron? I'm not sure. I'm not very good with me birds. I love all of these. Those figures are amazing. They're so elegant. These are the sort of stamps you could quite easily just stamp in black. You don't even have to add colour to, because the detail is exquisite in there. Hello to Debbie. She says fab giveaway. Emma says she loves it. Kimmy says, wow, how beautiful they really are. So here's another example. This is using a paper. I'm going to show you the papers in a little while when we get to them. That's the paper pad that you'll be getting for free if you spend over £30, but you can just see the stamps in there. And there's that lady stamped as well onto a background of those papers, just coloured in a little bit with some alcohol pens, but leaving the majority of her white, of course, a beautiful silk in there. And then we have your free stamp set. Now this is one that's really a sentiment, and it's very hard if you're doing any sort of other theme from around the world to do sentiments in English. So of course we've got a mix of English and Japanese in here. We've got good luck, harmony, happiness, dream, Japan, and love. But then we also have those with the symbols, with the Japanese writing as well, which is really beautiful. Then we have you could be a wall hanging or a scroll there, and we have lots of icons you can add too, so you can really build up beautiful themed sentiments. Let's just have a look at one of those there. Can you see that? Now the reason I've showed you this particular card is because let's take a look at the background there. You see those florals? No, that is not a pre-printed and foiled paper. That is one I've done myself using the next item, as is this card. Can you see in the background the floral embossing? Look at this embossing folder. That is stunning. I think this is my favourite embossing folder of all time. I'm just going to wait for the comments to come through going, wow, that is beautiful. I am going to show you some techniques with the embossing folders as well. They're large folders. They are A5. There's another embossing folder in the collection as well. And the waves. How beautiful is this? Have you ever seen anything like this before? Now imagine this in the gold on the blue, as we did with the florals. Or I'm going to show you how to do this with the ombre colour inked into it. Look at the background, and there we've got an example of those stamps again. And this then leads me into the next product as well. So have a look at these beautiful dies we've got in here. I have to open these up for you. These are the icons. Take a look at the size, okay? The packaging does not do these justice because these are huge dies. Let's see, what else have we got in there? Have we got the lovely lady with her fan? Look at the size of her compared to that. Now these are perfect in my mind for silhouettes. Let's just pop this one back in here. And just like that, I have a card with those dies and with silhouettes on. How gorgeous is this? How much do you love this one? It is beautiful. Rough sea with them waves. Yeah, it is a rough sea with those waves, and you get a bit seasick on there, but they are so pretty. So there's another card, really simple. I'm going to be making something similar to this in one of my demonstrations for you, so you can see how that is done, how quickly and easily it comes together. And then we've got the paper pad. Okay, so this is A5. You've got 6 designs in total. There's 4 of each, 190 GSM. So if you're matting and layering, it's fine. You're not going to overweigh your card. But if you do want to be making a gift bag, for example, or an envelope for these, or whatever it may be, they're still strong enough to hold themselves. Let's flick through these papers quickly. This being the top one is my favourite, the teal cherry blossom. I adore that Olga has chosen blues and teals for this, because whenever I think of anything Oriental, I immediately think of gold, red and black. Don't know why, just do. But to see these colourways, I think that's made me love it even more. I love this. I love this pattern. Now that might be going a bit funny on the screen. A beautiful, almost a symmetrical wave pattern or scallops, but that matches the die that we've got here as well, absolutely perfectly. we have got this gorgeous scene. So you could simply be placing something in the center of that. In fact, I've used this. Let's come back to the first card that I showed you. Can you see how I've used the top of it in the background behind that scenery? So these are stunning. I think that would work really well for a new baby as well. You can imagine their stalks, couldn't you, flying through the clouds. Look at this, absolutely beautiful, beautiful papers. So that is, I think that is the entire collection. Let's pop this to the side. So that is the paper pad that you're going to be getting. If you're spending over £30 on this, you'll get that into your basket for free at checkout. You'll get the option for that. We have a secret code over at Craft World that is linked on the homepage, so it's really easy to find. Find the secret code, click the shopping link, shop now link for your relevant country. You're going to be taken to all the products that 40% can be used against. And then we've also got giveaways as well, of course. I am going to be giving away, let's go back to the beginning, 3 of this set. So make sure you are commenting. Just a few more of your comments and then I will get straight on to demonstration because I want to see what you all think of it. Katerina, I had to just get my head around your name. I apologise there because I kept thinking Karina. Katerina, I never wanted to be picked so badly. Yes, well, fingers crossed for you. Dawn says hello to everybody and she loves this collection. It is stunning. Kath, she wants it all. And Cheryl says it's definitely classy. And Michaela has said prettiest paper she has ever seen. It really is absolutely stunning. But shall we move on straight away to demonstration? Because I know that's what you want to see from me. So I'm going to work with this die set first of all. So let me just pop these to the side and have a little sort out because I'm on my own. I can't sort of flip over to someone else to be doing this for me or to be distracting you whilst I'm working. Now I have my little pieces ready for you. I have already pre-cut some bits because I didn't want you to have to sit and watch lots of die cutting. I wanted you to be able to see how this comes together so quickly. Now these scenes can be horizontal or vertical. I'll show you again. So I'm going to be making this sort of card first of all, but another one, and actually probably one of my favorites, is this because it's so simple. I just use the mountain ranges and the sun die, the circle die that's in there, a little bit of ink blending and some black and grey. Oh, that's the sentiment stamps across the bottom as well. So this set is so perfect for so many different styles. So there's my sun. I've cut that from Gold Mirror Card. I've cut that frame. That's that large frame that I got out for you. Let me pull out some of the other dies as well so you can see the sheer size of them. In fact, there's a lot. There's 13 dies in here. I hope you can hear me over the metal clanging. Let me just get your comments up again because I think I just accidentally closed Facebook and I didn't mean to. Olga is so talented, says Joan. She absolutely is. She's so clever. I don't know how she comes up with the ideas. Now I'm just going to separate the pieces that I want for embellishments. So they are these foliage pieces. We'll come to those in a little while. I think this collection really lends itself to silhouettes a lot. Okay, now because the frame is A5, I'm going to be working on an A5 card base and with one of the A5 papers. Now because I'm just going to be using the top of this paper, I would probably cut some of this away so that I can use it for another time. Now I have started to cut out my landscape, and just a little tip for you, the best way to cut these so you don't have too much trimming to do later is to cut them down to A5 width first of all, then take your die and cut across them, but also keep the excess. So this is the excess piece, and with this I could turn that round and I could use that again to build up more dimension, or on another card if I want another mountain range somewhere. So keep that. Okay, so I've done that on the grey and I've left quite a lot at the bottom. I've then gone to the next colour, which is a dark green with, which one did I use for this? Let's see. Was it this one? There we go, with this one. And you can mix and match these. You don't have to use them in the same order as I have. And then there is a third landscape shape as well, which I've used a pale green for, okay? But again, your excess from each of these can be put to the side and can be used again. So another die that I've already cut for you is the part that cuts out like the relief on the top of the mountains. Now this could be snow or it could be crags in the mountain, whatever you want it to be. So whether you go lighter or darker, you're going to get different looks. I've used a slightly paler grey there, so hopefully you can see that. So let's start gluing some of these down. Just looking at your comments. Joan has said her fingers, toes, legs, arms, eyes and eyes are crossed, plus anything else that she can cross. I take it that's to win that die set, is it? But certainly I would definitely be popping over to CraftStash and popping some of the other items into your basket, because if you do get this scenery die set, if you do win that, you're going to want to have some of the embellishments, some of the other elements to add to it, like for example the paper pad. Those embossing folders are amazing, they really are, and they give you the deepest emboss as well. So just using a fine tip applicator on here. Now I did say, I think it was yesterday in my live, I was talking about the metal glue with Sam, the metal tip applicators with Sam, and how when they clog up, you need to get a needle in there. They are very, very fine. But I find the little stopper on the back of the Distress Ink enamel pins works perfectly for stopping that up. Okay, so then I'm going to use, I'm using Cosmic Shimmer in both bottles. I've just decanted it into a smaller bottle for my finer elements, and I'm just going to put this one on. Now I'm not using any sort of science. I've cut these by width to roughly A5 in width, a little bit larger so I can trim them down if need be, and then the length I've just really eyeballed as well. I just knew that I wanted the lighter green, the lighter colour, whether it's green or whether you go for other shades or other colours, I wanted that at the front. Okay, so the lighter colour at the front. There we go. So now we can start putting this onto our A5 background. This could be any of those background papers. They are all stunning, or it could be your own. Maybe you've done some ink blending, for example. I'm going to keep mine as A5. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of these paper pads. I needed a couple of paper pads. I'm going to go through them so quickly. So I'm going to use this as a template to get the size of these correct. So I'm going to place this onto the bottom there. That looks perfect. So I've got that lovely blue. It adds interest, doesn't it, because it's not plain blue. It's got that little subtle pattern in there. But certainly if you're at home and you've just got the one paper pad, maybe I would be trimming this part off so you can use it for something else. Okay, pop that over the top there. Hi Carissa, thank you for watching. Hi to Jane Brooke as well. Yeah, beautiful collection, isn't it? So Joan has said she's looking at the site for shopping and her credit card is certainly going to melt. Oh yes, not heard that saying before. You love the mountain effect. I love this as well. For anyone who loves walking, a lot of walking holidays this year, I think, perhaps. Anyone who loves the outdoors, whatever it may be. So my daughter was doing D&V a year or two ago. This would have been perfect for her, things like that. Now, one thing I did forget to do was to slot my sun in. I've just cut the sun in gold because I think a beautiful golden sunrise there, or a sunset, could be either. Look, how perfect does that look behind those mountains there. Now comes the fun bit. First I'm going to frame everything, so this just finishes this off. In fact, I don't really need to trim this at all, but a little bit there maybe. What I would do is just turn over my A5 cardstock and just trim to the edges of that, because I know that my pattern paper is A5. I know that my frame is going to fit over that perfectly. I've just overlapped a little. Everything else is fairly neat there really, and we've got a nice wide gold frame here, so we can cover all the edges beautifully like so. So I've already gone ahead and I've put some black foam tape onto the back of my mirror card panel here, and don't forget, of course, I saved everything from the center of the panel, the large piece of mirror card, for another project. I might have cut my sun from it first of all, but other than that it's all saved. There's a nice large piece left over. Just lifting up the edges. This is the sort of thing that never goes smoothly, does it? Should use my pokey tool really to try and save my nails a little bit. I think they're beyond saving. So Andrea says she'd definitely be trimming the flowers. Yes, they are beautiful, aren't they? Yeah, absolutely stunning. You've actually also got those flowers, these sort of, they're like almost like reed flowers, aren't they, or ferns, or grasses, that's the word I'm looking for. You've got those in one of the stamp sets as well. I'll run through the products between demonstrations for anyone who's just joining us. So this is, I'm just lining this up now, one of the edges first. So I go a bit quiet when I'm putting things down, trying to be nice and neat and precise. Trying not to bend the frame at all as I lay it down, so it just falls smoothly. And now I'm just going to go back in and just neaten up any edges where I didn't quite put the gold frame where it should be on the edge, so nothing's overlapping and it all looks perfectly neat and tidy. There we go. So I'm actually putting my rubbish on the floor today for the first time ever. My bin's a bit far behind me today, so it's going on the floor now. Hoover up when I'm done. If anyone knows me, I'm a really clean, tidy crafter, which I know is unusual, but I like to have things really clean and tidy, and that means having a bin beside me all the time. So I'm now going to pop this onto a card base before I do the next stage. So again, just wet glue around the edges. I've got a pre-made A5 card base. You'll find lots of card bases and envelope sets over on CraftStash, but this one is just a plain white one. You could colour coordinate with your project. You could get a piece of green or grey, fold it, an A4 sheet, and fold it in half instead, so it is all colour coordinated. But there you go. So I mean, do you know what, even that without any embellishment at the moment, with just a sentiment down the bottom, would be really lovely as a scene. But let's build it up some more. Now I'm going to actually do some live die cutting. Let's put my glue out of the way. So I've got black cardstock here, and I think this screams silhouettes. Okay, we need to make some dark silhouettes from this. So let's cut first of all. We've got the beautiful tree. I love the tree. It's as if it's been growing on a mountain, isn't it? Where it just comes out at the side. You often see those if you go abroad. You don't really see them much in the UK. We've got the bridge as well. We've got some reeds. So let's cut a couple of these too. And then I've also got this. Can anyone tell me what this is called? Because it has just slipped my memory, the name of these. If anyone knows, I'll be very, very grateful. Little building, the little Japanese building. Here we go, run these through in black. So this is, for me, this is the easiest type of card when you do silhouettes, because you haven't got to think about colouring. Carol says she always drops things onto the floor. Too many comments too quickly. She's always dropping things onto the floor first, and that way she can search through and make sure she's not throwing any dies and things away. That's a really good idea, Carol, actually. I wouldn't think of that, because very often I do scoop up little dies and such by accident and throw them in the bin. The times I've been through my recycling bin trying to find a little tiny piece of a die or something. Big dies in fact too. So we have got this tree is beautiful. Now I can imagine just using your distress inks, creating a background and adding some of these trees in front of it. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Okay, so we've got the trees, we've got the bridge, we've got the reeds in there as well. They are so pretty. There we go, and we've got some other elements that are going to just overhang. We'll position those in a moment. I'm going to recut all of the plants here too. I'm going to do those ones again, but I'm also going to do the building that has no name. Let's see, is it pergola or pagoda? Pagoda? Someone said pergola. I'd say pagoda. I think so. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Every day's a school day, isn't it? Especially when you forget. That does sound right. That does sound what I was thinking about. I mean, people have them in England, don't they, where they build them, particularly for weddings. Imagine getting Imagine getting married in one. That would be beautiful. So don't forget, everybody, as well, we have got fantastic competition. If you love card making, or if you've ever made a birthday card, as long as you've got a photo of it, you can enter. It's not a talent competition, but you are going to be in with a chance of winning a £750 CraftStash shopping spree if you pop over to the CraftStash blog. Now, the CraftStash blog, you can be found by going to craftstash.co.uk. Simply need to click on the inspiration button. If not, craftstash.co.uk/inspiration. There is a blog post in there that tells you all about our birthday and tells you how you can win a £750 shopping spree. It's really easy to enter. We had to give you something to do to enter, of course. So all we've asked for is to see a birthday card that you've made. That's all. And like I say, we're not going to be judging the cards at all. We are picking winners at random. So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned crafter, please do enter. Now, everyone, just going to scoop up all my little bits and attempt to get these little bits in the bin because they're so tiny. It's a long way behind me. Let's move this out of the way and die cut and put this scene together. How much are you loving this collection? I'd love to know which your favourite part is. I'm not sure for me whether it is the embossing. I think it's the floral embossing folder for me. I think that is my absolute favourite. Do you know what? I might put that. I like that the roof there just goes over the sun, so you can just see the silhouette in the sun. I think it looks beautiful. And with this, we have a lot of detail peeking through as well. So we've got lots of little windows that you can see things through. Going to lift that up. No, I think we'll put that down on top there. That is just gorgeous. Now, if you had more time, you could use foam pads or foam layers, whether it's tape or pads, on each of the layers between these. That would look absolutely amazing as well. Let's pop the bridge over this side now. I love that we can build scenes. We can really build these up. And I think you could make a really fun design with this bridge as well if you cut lots of them and created a background from it. Or you could do a really large circle eventually with them. Let's just pop the reeds, these reeds anyway, in here. There we go. I've not got a guest today to talk to. Seems very strange. Yeah, the scene dies are your favourite, are they, Teresa? Yes, Andrea, have you not heard about the £750 prize yet? It's a shopping spree to one person. I'm going to be announcing the winner on Friday. I believe it's during my very last birthday live on Friday at 2 o'clock. I'll be with Helen Griffin. I'll be announcing the winner, so you've still got a couple of days to get your entries in. All we need to do is see a photo of a birthday card you've made. We'd love it if you made us a 6th birthday card, but of course you don't have to. You can just send us a photo of a card that you've previously made. You can upload your photo on the blog, so that's craftstash.co.uk/inspiration. Yeah, and that's as simple as that, really. I think it might be an email address and your name, obviously, so we can contact you if you win. Can you imagine winning that and we can't contact you? How devastated would you be? So definitely make sure you get your entries in. Look at this. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? It's starting to build up, if I do say so myself. All of the hard work, of course, has been put in by Olga and her designing. I don't know where she comes up with her ideas, but she does such a fantastic job. I'm going to have a few of these just hanging down as well in the corners, because I think this is really going to add a finishing touch and a touch of dimension. So there's some, and then some more over this side corner as well. I try to balance things out as much as possible. I'm just gluing down the stems too. Oops, I'm not gluing down the whole thing, just the stem there, and then the rest of it can kind of be left almost floating as such. There we go. Okay, let's lift that up and show you. That's one card done. How am I doing for time? Oh, of course I started really late, didn't I? I think this live might go on a little bit longer than usual, everybody. But then look at that. How quick and easy did that come together? Now let's put these away. I know we want to do some more demonstrating as quickly as possible. So I'll put these away and just talk to you through the deals and offers while I get the next demonstration ready. So we have got, if you're spending £30 or more on this new collection, this is Japanese Dream Collection, you're going to be able to get a free paper pad. Now the paper pad is beautiful. I'm making a mess of this, everybody. I'm trying to do it quietly, so I'm just going to give up with doing it quietly and pop them in the box there very quickly. So the paper pad has 6 designs and they are stunning. They're 190 GSM, which is kind of halfway between cardstock and paper. There we go, noisy. So that's that. This is the paper pad that you're going to get completely for free. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Let me show you my favourite sheet as well. Where is it? It's going to be the last one that I reveal. Of course it is. This cherry blossom. So these are the shirobi papers. So shirobi is a technique that the Japanese do with fabric. So I imagine Olga was thinking about fabric design, basically patterns for fabric, while she was looking at the designs of these. So they are beautiful. Let's move on. The next demonstration I want to do, I'm not going to come back to the products because I'm going to bring in some new products. In fact, let's quickly look at these for the scenes. Look at the 3 different cards that I've made already, just with using that one scene builder. Okay, the only other additional thing I've used is the paper pad and the stamps across there, so you can get lots of different looks. Okay, so for this one I'm going to do a bit of inking, some ink blending, and it's probably going to be the perfect time for me to start reading out some more of your comments whilst I'm ink blending. But essentially, let me see, what am I going to be working with for this one? I'm going to be bringing in this die collection because there are some really large dies in here that I want to use. I think they are beautiful. So let's take all these out this time. So I've got lots and lots. There's 14 dies in total. These are the Japanese icons die set. And you know, I think if you're just going to go for one set, you want to get that Japanese feel. This is the one to do. This is one that has a really big cherry blossom die. It is stunning. Just having a look at some of your comments there. Love the pagoda. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Love all the embellishments. Hi to Sasha. Thank you very much, Teresa. Joan said this card is stunning. Thank you, everybody. Right, so moving on, I need to get this one done. I'm going to choose these 3 colours. The reason being because pink leads easily into purple because it has some red in it, and then purple has blue in it, which leads easily into blue. So I am going to do an ombre between those 3. Hopefully, and my purple, I've got a feeling, was starting to get a little bit dry. I've had these for years. Few of them need to soon be replaced. So let's see. That is a little bit, isn't it? It's a little bit pale. I might have to skip to another purple ink. I have another one in here, so let's go for Dusty Concord and see whether that's a little juicier. If anyone wants to replace all of my mini pads, distress pads, please feel free. This is a slightly pinkier colour, but never mind. In fact, what I might do is, rather than doing a complete horizontal effect with the ombre blending, I could just do patches if I wanted to, but you'll get the idea anyway. But if you've got, in fact, here's a tip for you, which is what I'm going to do. If you've got an ink pad that is starting to wear out and you've started like this, you've started to put it on, you think, oh, it's going to take me forever to build up that solid colour, why not just go in with lighter colours over the entire project? And then you'll have pastel shades of everything instead, rather than try and keep building up the colour and building up the colour if your pads are starting to dry out. So I've just started in the middle there, blending onto some smooth white cardstock. And I've gone across the middle and just over sort of 1/3 lines. I'm using my blending brush, which I use for purple. Then we'll come in with blue. So this is Mermaid Lagoon. Have you tried the new colour yet? What was it called? Salvage Patina. It is beautiful, isn't it? Of course, you've got it at CraftStash. You can order it there. So go and take a look at that if you've not already seen it. It is a stunning, stunning colour. Let's quickly get this blended so I can show you some more of those Japanese Dream die cuts. And again, I'm actually going to be die cutting in black again. I think these sets really lend themselves to silhouette die cuts. Can you see what I mean there about just making everything everything paler? So we've got this is ever so bright, actually. It looks quite patchy under that light. Can you see? Rather than trying to give it a solid colour to match the one where it was starting to wear out and the ink was starting to dry out, just gone lightly over this side as well, just to match. And then I'll do the same with the pink as well, and it will all look like it's meant to be. I quite like that sort of cloudy pastel look as well. We'll add some water splats to them. So again, lightly. If you're worried about going onto your cardstock a bit too hard and too heavy with your ink, go onto the matte first. I mean, we always suggest blending from the matte anyway, but I'm just doing that to lighten the colour so I don't go on too heavy straight away and have a really dark piece of pink, because of course I've got pale blue, now I've got pale purple. I don't want a deep heavy pink. Let me see, just need to scroll up the comments. There's lots of you commenting. Thank you so much. You need to try a blending tool. Yes. Very nervous to try ombre in case you mess it up. Don't worry, you can't mess it up. It will take practice, but it's only paper and a bit of ink. Honestly, if you worked out in money terms what that would cost you to try out some ink blending, wouldn't even be pennies, I wouldn't imagine. So just make sure you're using a smooth cardstock and just take your time and enjoy it. It's good fun. So I've got a cloudy pastel background here. I'm just going to do a light spritz with water, but then I'm going to spritz some in my hand and just put some bigger droplets on there as well. Okay, because I've used Distress ink, that will just react with the water. Now that's going to sit there for a moment, so I'll put that to the top. If you just keep an eye on that for a moment while I do my die cutting, you'll start to see that there's some little white splodges, is that a word? Splodges will start to appear. Now I'll just wipe my hands dry because of course they're a little bit wet, and I'm just going to take up, there's a really, I've had some tissues gone missing. I'm sure I had some tissues in there. There's a really thingy blob there, so I'm going to bring in, this is my Nana's tea towel, so don't judge me, anyone. Just going to lift up the moisture from that. There we go, so it doesn't run any further because it was slowly running down the card. But that's fine, we can pop a sun over that or something if we need to. The next stage now is to cut, let's see, which one shall I use? I think I will use this one for the icons. So I'm going to use the beautiful cherry blossom and this gorgeous lady with a fan. She is just stunning, she really is. So it's a silhouette rather than a whole piece. What else can we use? Oh, we've got another lady sitting there. She's actually got a table here that she sits at, and then we have a teapot and the teacup also included. So we can cut all of these at the same time. So just move that along. Hopefully you can start to see those white splodges appearing on that. It's really magical, isn't it? The white, that bit I'll cover up. I'll position my die cut so that that big splodge is hidden. Any accidents you can fix, don't worry. It's, like I say, it's only paper, but I'd love you to try things. You love where this card's going. Thank you very, very much. Let's see, what other comments have we got? You missed the beginning, YouTube wasn't working, glad you made it eventually. Is it not working over there, Roseanne? I'll have a look at that when I finish, but if it's not, we should be live over there as well, but if we're not, I will pop this video. I'm recording at the same time, so I'll pop it on over there so you can watch it at your leisure later on. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, everybody, as well, because when we're live on Facebook, we're also live on YouTube. I know you can set reminders on there and things like that as well. Some people just prefer one platform to the other. Some people watch both. I was talking yesterday during a live, and some people were saying they stream from, I don't know, from Facebook or YouTube onto their TV, and then they comment on their phone on Facebook, so you can watch from anywhere. Okay, so all these little pieces have come away. Just be wary of what's waste and what is not, because as you can see there, we've got a tiny little teacup, and we've got there, are you going to come out, teapot? Oh, I'm holding it with the handle. There we go. So we've got all the little icons here. Let's see if this is ready to glue on. I think that needs a little more drying time, so a little more die cutting, and I'm excited because I can do this panel. This panel, it naturally makes quite a bit of mess because there's lots and lots of pieces that come out. So if you do have the little sort of cut tidy pockets, then I'd use those with this, or be prepared with your vacuum cleaner to be cleaning up after this. But it cuts beautifully, absolutely stunning. It releases beautifully, and the design is really, really pretty. So let me just run this through once, and I always go forwards and backwards when I can. So once I'm back again, let me show you this. Oh, of course I've taped it down. Remove my tape. I just use a low tack tape. If you type in low tack tape on CraftStash, you get lots and lots of them come up. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? You see what I mean about the mess, all the little bits, but so worth it to have a gorgeous panel like this. And this matches really well with one of those background papers as well. That's going to look amazing against those pastel colours. And let's just scoop up the mess. I actually had one of my children standing by with my, I've got like a cordless vacuum cleaner, and had my children standing by with the cleaner while I was cutting these out. Is that a little bit too crazy? Quite possibly. I'm going to cut another one of those panels, and by then our distress ink should be dry enough for us to start gluing these pieces on. And don't forget, I've got winners to announce in a little while, but I've also got for you some embossing folder techniques, so don't go anywhere. I can see we are 10 minutes from the end of what would be an hour's live, but I'm more than happy just keep going with these techniques and show you everything I've got to show you, even if it runs past the 3 o'clock time. There's a little scrap of paper there. Let's make the mess again, release this beautifully. Oh, by the way, everybody, just a tip for you while I'm doing it, I nearly forgot to show you then. When you're releasing a die from a heavily patterned panel like this, sometimes you pick it up, and I don't know if you've noticed, the bits stay in the die cut and you have to poke them out. Sometimes you pick it up and all the bits seem to stay in the die, and you think, well, what did I do differently? You know, how I want the bits, if you're like me, you want the bits to stay in the paper, you'll clean the die later. If you fold your panel backwards, your paper backwards as you take it off, because of the natural sort of popping motion of the paper, that is going to take the paper out of the paper, if that makes sense, and leave it more in the die than the paper. Look at that. Isn't that just perfect? They are so pretty. I would use these for so many things. I don't know if that's sort of causing a little bit of, what's the word we use on the TV where it goes a bit fuzzy because of the pattern? Strobing. I don't know whether it's causing a little strobing on there or not. Okay, this is looking really pretty. So there's a little bit damp on there still. I'm going to bring in my heat gun very quickly. Block your ears, everybody, because of course the heat gun is noisy and I can't mute myself. So I'll just do it very, very quickly. Just taken the very, very worst of it off because I don't want to glue onto something that's still damp. Now let's glue this down. So I'm going to glue it flat. I'm not going to use foam pads or anything at the moment. So pop this down with the wet glue. So I always go round the edge with my glue, and then I do a squiggle in the middle just to secure the centre down. But it's the edges that I want glued down securely. Just looking at the edges. Now again, I've gone for an A5 card base. I'm working horizontally this time. So pop that down there, clean up any glue from the edges. So I cut that previously to fit the width of my card and cut it into a square. Now that looks lovely already anyway. Let me see, I'm just looking at some of your comments. You don't want me to mute myself. Well, I can mute myself, but there's a good chance I'd forget to actually take you off of mute, or take myself off of mute as well. If anyone saw me on the craft store the other day, they'll know that I have my glue sponge, my new, it's not a new invention, I've been using one of these for years, but I've only just started showing people. It's the sort of thing I use in the comfort of my own craft room, and I decided to make a video on how to make these, so you'll find that on social media. I'll pop that onto Craft World soon as well, how to make a glue sponge. So for gluing small pieces like this that have a lot of detail, it's just a kitchen sponge with some white glue absorbed into it and kept in an airtight container. So I've got lots of glue on the reverse of that, and I'm just going to pop one of these down the side there. There we go, and then the same with this one. Clear glue doesn't work, by the way, if you use Collal or pin flares or purpose glue. Those sort of glues seem to dry out the sponge even though you're in an airtight container, but a wet glue for some reason seems to work absolutely fine and not dry out. There we go, pop that on there, and then I'm just going to flip this over and trim the edges to neaten those up. There's 1, 2, so they're nice long strips. You could use them vertically as well. I didn't even cut the entire length of the die, but if I just show you in comparison, the length of the die will fit the length of an A5 strip too. So there we have that. Just going to pop the lid back on this because I do need that to be airtight to work. What type of wet glue would I recommend? Cosmic Shimmer, CraftStash glue if you use that, the Essentials glue, Sizzix, Express glue, any of those white ones. Like if any of you use this one, probably looks a little neater than mine. Any of those glues would work. So now let's build up our scene. I am going to bring in my cherry blossom. I've got a few pieces to pop out from that. Here, black silhouettes. Can you tell I like black silhouettes? And when I saw this collection, I just thought that's the perfect opportunity to bring in black silhouettes. That is going to look stunning over there. It almost looks like a starry night sky, doesn't it? It doesn't look like a sunrise or anything, like daytime. So just putting a little tiny bit of glue just on the larger parts of the die cut there. Going to pop the stem against the black border. Have that beautiful cherry blossom. You could make a lovely frame with this, couldn't you? You could cut lots of the cherry blossom and just work them round into a circle shape or a heart shape, or make a border as well. They are so pretty. I'm going to pop the little lady here. Now she's got some pieces in her umbrella that can come out. I'm going to pop her to the side here. So she's doing her own thing over here. I need names for them if anyone wants to help me out with some names. I also need, everybody, I need to plug my phone in a second, just because I think, excuse me if you can see my arm there, I'm just going to bring in my phone charger because I didn't realise, and if I lose your comments I'll be talking to myself, and also I won't be able to find the winner's name, so just plug my phone in there. Hopefully that is now charging up and I won't lose you all. Yes, yeah, we're charging, it's all good. It's fine, I won't lose you. There we go. So we've got her now. The lady here is I'm going to use her, I'm going to put her a little bit further back. Now you could put a panel of black across the bottom for a floor. I'm not going to worry about this. She's kind of going to be floating a little bit, but I think it's fine. It's okay. Let's put her down. Let's put her there. And then the table is going to be coming across her there. So her knees are kind of just under the table a little bit. Being black silhouettes, you've got that freedom to overlap things, haven't you? And see what looks best there. And then the teapot and the teacup. I think a lot of these you can get away with. Let's put the teapot there. And the tiny teacup as well. Doesn't have a handle, do they? They don't have handles on their little teacups. Can just go there as well. Look at that. So there's a scene that I've built up. Let me show you the other one as well. With the other one, what I did is I brought in the stamps. So we've got some lantern stamps as well. Let me show you that collection of stamps because they are beautiful. You could be stamping your cherry blossom if you wanted a larger and more detailed cherry blossom. I've stamped the lanterns in this one. Very similar. I've just switched around the shapes and the positioning and everything, obviously the colours as well, but essentially the cards, both cards were made in the same way. In fact, I think actually lanterns would have looked lovely hanging from here or from the cherry blossom, but never mind, can soon make another one. Okay, I'm going to move on and very quickly just show you those embossing folders before I finish and before I announce the winners' names. So let's pop these to the side and find those embossing folders. They are stunning. So that is the waves and that is the cherry. So I'm not sure, it's not cherry blossom, it's peonies, Japanese peonies. They are beautiful. There's two techniques that I'd like to show you with these. Just checking on the comments, everybody. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. Rainy Sue, Bernie, Teresa, Joan, you've all said what a nice card. Thank you so much. Anne-Marie as well. Kate has said no sentiments needed with black silhouettes. I think so too. And Paula, gorgeous, thank you. I think you don't always need a sentiment, and very often I will opt not to put a sentiment on my cards because that way I can make them when I feel like it, when I want to, and then I can give them for the occasion. I can make the sentiment on the occasion if I need to. Now I wanted to show you the technique. I am going to be using my heat gun, so mind your ears in a little while. I wanted to show you the technique that I did on the blue to get the gold embedded with the peonies. So I'll show you how I did that. Now what I did is I opened my embossing folder. It's so beautiful, and I've got two sides. Now if I take my embossing ink, my favourite at the moment, I go through stages of having favourites. Usually it's my newest embossing ink pad because it's the juiciest, and at the moment it's Versamark. It is actually a watermark stamp pad, but I love it for embossing because it stays sticky for so long. So with this I can ink either side of this embossing folder. If I ink this side here with the black print on, I'm going to be inking the background behind the image of the flowers, and that's quite a large area to then emboss, and you'll get the pink or your colour cardstock show through. So I'm going to emboss this side. So the larger your ink pad, the easier this is, and I want to make sure this is as flat as possible. I'm just going to ink flatly and gently an area of this, so it's just picking up ink on the raised areas where those peonies are. Okay, very carefully, like so. Now you won't be able to see the ink, of course, because it's clear, and if you're worried about putting that on and then it transferring and smudging it as you fold the folder, I'm going to put it onto this side, the paper onto this side. I'm going to close it that way. There we go. And now I'm going to run this through my machine, and to do that I need to take out the thicker plate and put my embossing folder in. I believe I need to sometimes remind myself because some folders are different. Is that the way with this one? No, it's the other way. So take out one of the clear plates. So some folders, embossing folders, are larger than others. Okay, so some you'll need to take out a clear plate, some you'll need to take out a coloured plate. Some of them, I don't know, some of them are probably electric and they work it all out for themselves. I'm not sure, you know, you figure it out. Now let me see, that is gorgeous. Okay, just try and lift up the plate off of there. Let me now show you how this looks. It is so pretty. So first of all, you can leave it like that if you wish. Okay, so you've got the slightly darker purple from the watermark ink in there. Can you see that? It's beautiful. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle embossing powder into that, and hopefully enough of the ink will have transferred to be able to catch on into these peonies. Now if you're doing this for a panel for a specific card, I would suggest you cut your panel larger to start with, because occasionally you may get a little bit that doesn't quite catch properly, and then you can't trim your card down if you've already cut it to size. But at least this way you can cut this to size afterwards using the best part, the best of the result. So as you can see there, I've got my golden, I'm just flicking away some bits on the solid where I've obviously caught some powder. I've got my powder all in there. Now I'm just going to come away for a moment and just emboss this. In fact, what I'll do is I will do it with you in view, and I apologise for the sound. Let's pop my powder away. So really don't want to be blowing that. Look, I need some more gold powder. I love the Wow embossing powders. We have those on site, of course. And I'm going to just emboss this or heat this here. Pokey tool just to hold it still so I don't burn my fingers. And excuse the noise, everybody, just briefly. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I just need this to heat up before it starts melting. And once it starts melting, I can probably speed it up once it's up to heat. There we go, it's starting to turn now. And fingers crossed you can see those peonies starting to come to life. In fact, I may be able to lift this up and do it under here, so you can hopefully see it all melting. Shall I whack this up now? Ready? There we go. Now that took a little bit longer than I expected, but hopefully you could see it actually happening, and we've now got that gorgeous gold peony design embedded into the cardstock. So that's actually almost quite smooth, but if I turn this over, you can see you've still got the beautiful emboss on there as well that you could use alternatively. But that makes them a stunning paper for you, your own backing paper. It almost looks like handmade paper, doesn't it? So that's the peony embossing folder. And lastly, a nice quiet technique for you this time. Let me just see the comments because I'm on my own. It's magic. Yes, it is like magic. I love watching it melt. It's beautiful. My heat gun's quiet, is it? Oh, could you still hear me? What brand is it? It's the Sizzix one. We often have it in stock at CraftStash. I'm not sure if it's in stock at the moment, but definitely if it is, make sure you grab it because it is a fantastic heat gun. Now, the next very quick technique I'm going to show you is, before I do the names. I don't know if I've got the winners yet. I'm not sure. Let me just see if I've got the winners' names yet. Oh, I do. Lovely. Okay, 2 minutes and I'll announce those. I'm going to show you this technique, then we'll do winners' names, then I'll repeat all of the codes for you. In fact, I just did that wrong. Let's take this. So I'm going to start at the bottom. So this being the bottom, if you have a look at the wave shape, if you have a look at this, so this would be the bottom. I'm going to go with a dark ink. Now these are, I'm using a dye ink and a chalk ink for these, and you can mix your inks, that's fine when you're doing this sort of technique. The dye ink is going to show up more on this just because it's a darker ink. The chalk ink is actually the lightest one, so you won't see that as much, but it does work equally as well. Just be quite quick with this technique because it will dry eventually on your embossing folder and you don't want to have that happen. So just going from dark and then blending in circles with the mid colour and then taking a third even lighter shade of my chosen colour and blending over. Now this is very much like as I did with the purple, with the gold. I've chosen the side that's got the design that I want imprinted in colour. You can do either side, either would work. Now I've gone a little bit too heavy on here and I can see that already, but that's fine because what I would usually do again is do this in a larger panel, emboss that so you can already see the sort of look that we're going to be getting. Emboss this and then I'm going to pick and choose which part of the design I want to use and just use that. Just trim it down afterwards so you can cut away any bits that didn't quite work. So, oh, sometimes you get that feeling that the plates are just going to ping out of the end, don't you? But that was all good. Okay, pop all my plates back. Let's lift this up and look at this. Isn't that so pretty? Can you see that colour, that ombre there going from the dark? And those waves are beautiful. Now let me just pop this over so you can see you've got the deep emboss. So you've got the deboss and the emboss and you've got the ink in there. So that's another technique for you with your embossing folders. So that is everything that I can show you at the moment in the time we've had using that beautiful Japanese dream collection. So now is that time of day where I can shout out these winners' names for you. It's so strange being on my own. I've got no one else to bounce off, but hopefully you enjoyed the all the techniques and the demonstrations. I will make sure that we've got photos on the website. I'm sure we already have of the cards that I've made, but also the ones that I've shown you previously, so you can use those as inspiration when you receive your products. And of course, if you are purchasing any of this collection today, if you're spending over £30, you're going to get the option to have the free stamp set that will pop up at checkout. And if you love paper discovery, maybe there's some previous sets or collections that you couldn't get your hands on at the time. They may be with 40% off at the moment. Go over to Craft World, find the secret code and go and have a look at the items that code can be used against, okay? Now these giveaways, we have got this set, the first set that I used. It's the Japanese garden die set. Got this one to give away, 3 of these, and these are going to, please email me everybody with your addresses. We've got Andrea Horobin, is that how I'm saying your name? I hope so. You'll know who you are. Congratulations to you. You're our first winner. I will send one of these out to you as soon as you message me with your postal address. Jude Barkley, you've won again. I know you won a few weeks ago. This is why you need to be watching every week, everybody. Jude won a few weeks ago. I want to say it was the Sizzix prize. Maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure. But you've won again, Jude. Congratulations. Well done. It's completely picked at random, everybody. Everyone's got as much chance as each other. So Jude's just having a very good month. And Marie Bland, congratulations. I often see you commenting, Marie. So well done to you, and thank you for watching and supporting us. And thank you to all of you for watching. It's been a fun hour. It's gone very, very quickly. Sorry for the gremlins at the beginning. Hopefully you all found me in time so you could see the collection. Everything is on the website now, and of course you've got the offers and the giveaways to take advantage of as well. I'll be back tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got the lovely Marta. She is on our design team. You've seen her once before live. We're going to see her for the second time. She's going to be demonstrating. We're talking all about paper, and there's an amazing offer that's going to be on for you as well. So we will catch you at 12 p.m, a different time tomorrow to keep you on your toes, at 12 p.m. tomorrow here on these platforms. I'll see you then. So take care, everybody. Bye bye.